I think every fucking person who voted Dem should be expelled from the fucking country. That's what I would like to do. I mean, if Trump had some real fucking power, we could figure out a way to pull that off. Expel them all, flush them down the toilet. For the states that went Dem, I think that he should set up re-education camps there
Yeah.
and process, all the people who voted Dem through them, and then the proven patriots who voted in those states, they can be the guards of the
Yeah.
camps. What a fucking week, huh?
Crazy week, man.
What a fucking week, man. Wow. Um, when I was following election night, which we were right about, um, I was proud of my fellow Americans. Thinking about them, many of them I thought that we couldn't really count on. But to think of them, how they rushed to save their country by taking action, going out in huge numbers, to make their voices heard, especially with Trump leading the way. And look, you guys know that I've held him accountable since the lockdowns. I've been hard on him, um, but I've always respected him for his never give up spirit. That's something I always admire in a person. This guy has taken every shot possible, um, from the enemy, even from his supposed allies, since before 2016, and even real bullets from a real gun. And when people inside the circle abandoned him and betrayed him, he uh, he never stopped fighting for the things that he believed in. And he and those who have voted for him did not care what their friends and family said to them when opposing them. They knew they had to do their part to help save their country. And for me, I was thinking about it. It was a bridge moment. Um, the enemy was about to cross this bridge, um, and with the election, and finish their destruction of the country that we all love as we know it.
Hmm.
And the man and woman behind us on the bridge at the controls of this dismantling of our nation. Imagine us being on the bridge facing outward, and behind us at the Capitol is Biden, Kamala, and the rest of them. They wanted they wanted an invasion on so many levels, and they had even called on their supporters, our enemy, when you think about it, in this way, to cross the bridge and fight us, to invade so they can keep power. They were calling on them while we were on the bridge defending it, right? So so I've spoken about Italian and Roman era, Roman Republic, Roman Empire heroes before, but I want to talk about another one. There was once a king of ancient Rome. He was the last king, um, and he was evil as fuck, and the people wanted him out. His name was King Tarquin, and he was ousted. So he went to the enemy of Rome, the fuck that he was. He went to the enemy of Rome and asked for them to help him because he wanted back in. He wanted power back. The enemy that he went to pledged an army to him, who then launched a surprise attack on Rome. In the surrounding countryside, the people fled back to Rome as fast as they could because they could see they were being invaded. They were caught
Yeah.
off guard. So when they were retreating, they poured over a small, narrow wooden bridge over the Tiber River. Have you guys heard of that? Yeah. So they were protected when they ran that way because they knew that if they got back into Rome, they could protect themselves behind the stone walls that were all over Rome. The enemy was basically chasing them down and they were running for their lives. The mistake though that the Romans forgot to do was the big mistake that they made was they forgot to burn the bridge behind them down or tear it down, and that was a gift to the enemy. So, because if the enemy had crossed, it was over with for the Romans. Just like now, if enough people had voted right for the other side, it would have been over for us. But there was a young Roman soldier named Horatius, and he called for his pals to join him to hold the bridge, right? And while others would tear it down. So he said, a couple of you guys jump on the bridge with me. Let's hold it down. Let's make sure these guys don't cross. The enemy doesn't cross, and the rest of you guys go under the bridge and tear the fucker down. His friends though were all too fucking scared. They were scared to face such a huge army coming their fucking way. So he said, just chop it down then. Can you at least just fucking chop it down while I hold off the enemy? And he said, I'll do it all alone. I don't need you fucking guys. Just, can you at least do that? So he did, killing enemy soldiers, in this invading army, and facing spear after spear being thrown at him. That inspired his friends so much, who then finally joined him and started sawing cords that held up the bridge. So he then yelled for his friends to run off that bridge and back into the city, knowing that the bridge was gonna crumble, it was gonna collapse, right? And he said, just run back, I'll hold the fucking bridge. I still got it, right? So as his friends fled, thinking he would die, sure fucking thing, he was gonna fucking die, fighting all by himself, he was alone, and only the gods could save him. The bridge began to crumble. And what he did instead is he jumped into the river when he was done fighting. He swam back to Rome and received a hero's welcome. The enemy backed down and retreated, right? They felt that the impossibility of one man holding back an entire army was like an omen. And that scared the fuck out of them. And they didn't want any part of that. So they submitted, admitting that Rome was a divine city. They said, it's a divine city, we don't want to fuck with it anymore. The old king of Rome screamed, pounded his fists, stomped his feet, demanding that they still fight. The enemy army said, fuck that, and fuck you, and left, and never came back again. The people then swore, after this event happened, the people of Rome swore they would never be ruled by a king again. And soon the Roman Republic was birthed. You never saw a king again after that. A government this time to serve the people. Yeah. So this story, for me, mirrors what happened on Tuesday. But as you know, the kind of guy that I am, in no way is it an act of fawning over Trump or any man, especially men of today. But when telling this story, it makes you think of our own republic, and that is now in the care of this man who's a leader, right? Who's trying to lead, who'll be taking power again soon. And although guys like us, and us specifically, are going to hold him accountable in the most hard-ass ways that you can think of, in unforgiving ways, as long as, when I say that, I think to myself too, as long as he doesn't betray us, we will be here for him and our country to do whatever is needed of us to help him defend American liberty, freedom, and our vintage American way of life.
Yeah. Yes. And to start out with, I really got something to say about that. And hear me on this.
Yeah.
Trump dance.
Oh, fuck.
Trump dance, Tony. Come on.
This is what I don't want to fucking see.
Come on, Tony. Trump dance.
Sit the fuck down. Please sit the fuck down.
I mean,
better not
just
be
this
does
once.
it.
Time to celebrate.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's not very presidential there.
That's better.
I'm not the president.
I mean, even if you told me you were going to do something like that, that was better than I would have ever imagined. Fuck.
You got to do it sometime, Tony.
But, you know, as we've seen, Doug, he's a pretty flexible guy.
He is very flexible.
He's athletic, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. You know, I think about what happened then. I think about what happened now, this election, as it was unfolding. And I knew God wasn't going to allow that shit to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
God was not going to allow that shit to happen.
Is he going to let Trump dodge a bullet to the head so he can lose to a fucktard?
Yeah.
Really? Was that the plan?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's. I tell people they're celebrating as a relative blowout win, but you still look at the totals and to think that what he only led, I think by the popular vote was 5 million.
Right
5
now.
million. Think about that.
That's scary.
And still, some of the states that he won were still too fucking close for me. And I think to myself, who are these fucking people? And we're going to talk about them in a minute. But
yeah.
We got to do a lot of house cleaning this next 4 years. Yeah. He's got to do a lot of house cleaning. We got to give him the mandate to do it. We got to be unstoppable. Squeaky wheel gets the greasing. We need to squeak and squawk and holler and holler and yell. He needs to understand the will of the people that you need to never again, Trump. What they did to us, never again.
They took us right to the edge of the cliff. I mean, and God willing, we pulled back.
This is our one shot. Yeah. We got one shot. Do not let this go.
There's no longer a zombie in the White House, which is good.
He's still there.
With these, with
for
this
2.5 months more. But.
He's eating ice cream.
With this guy, with this guy, Emhoff, there's not going to be a eunuch in the White House, which is great. Him and the other one, who's the other guy married to? Walls. Yeah. If you saw them at the election night, wherever they were fucking standing, they were both crying like a couple bitches. Did you see that?
At least he wasn't.
See that, but I'm not surprised.
At least he wasn't beating his kid.
Yeah,
and metrosexuals.
What?
He was beating his kid and roughing him up.
Yeah,
grabbing him, jerking him around.
Yeah. You know, we needed a man back in the White House with fucking balls and a spine, and it appears like we have it again. Yeah. And I think that his balls now are bigger than they were in 2016.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to prove it. But so far though, he has shown us a lot. He has shown me a lot. What he has been through, the energy that he has. Still, like I said, like I just talked about this Roman soldier that held that fucking bridge. He's held the bridge.
Yeah.
He's held the bridge, and he was willing to make a comeback, and that takes a lot out of you. And he was willing to fucking do it. Yeah. And he, no matter what I have said, or no matter what anyone has said about him, he's earned my respect for that alone.
Yeah. Well, he's been attacked from all angles for since he's been campaigning hard the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And loving it. Huh? And loving it. Let me tell you, Tony, I remember, and this is a certain kind of man. I remember you saying, I love when the enemy attacks me.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Me too. You know I like conflict.
Yeah, it fuels us.
It fuels us, right?
Yeah.
And I think Trump is that kind of guy.
You know what? I think you're right.
I think he is. And you know what? I actually think that everybody's like, how do you do all of these rallies? The stamina. He looks great.
Because he loves it.
And you know what? I think that added 10 years to his life.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, my dad was a hustler, worked, had a restaurant, had businesses. When he retired, he went down.
That's what happens to people. That's what happens.
But Trump, he's 78 years old. Mm-hmm. He looks great.
Doing what he loves.
I think he thrives on the conflict. He thrives on the battle.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that
some men were built to fight.
You need that kind of.
You're born that way. That's just how it is.
I mean, if you look at the other presidents, what do they look like after they've done their president? God. They're all worn out and gray.
Terrible.
All of them.
Yeah.
Did he look worn out?
No. He still looks pretty good.
He looks
He's really
great.
good for almost 80 years old. It's fucking amazing.
He looks way better than Clinton, and they're about the same age,
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah, that's even hard to believe.
So he did 900 of those rallies, is what he said.
Yeah.
I heard that on his election speech. He said he did 900 of them. Sometimes
Maybe he
2 or
did
3
three a day. Yeah.
And and so when you get up and do that dance, though, it upsets me a lot.
Why?
Just pisses me off. I don't like it. But I don't like that even near me. But but you did it, and you had fun doing it. But can we tell Trump to stop fucking dancing? You can't be commander in chief and dance like that. The golf thing is kind of cool. I like that. He's kind of incorporated that. I think it's kind of nice. But the dancing thing, I think, is goofy, and especially don't fucking do it to YMCA.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
That
you're
shit.
right.
I mean, what the fuck is that? Before we get to the rest, I was thinking, Kim. So we did our sort of magic wall map, and we predicted the election, and we got really, really close. We predicted a blowout win, a relative blowout win, a modern day blowout win.
Yeah.
And we predicted all the battleground states, every one of them. We predicted that. We posted our prediction the day before by telling people to come and enjoy the next night, enjoy the victory, celebrate with us. And I was texting people out in the morning, telling them what was going to happen, and then we did our show too. We talked about it. And then we even posted, I think at 3:00 in the afternoon, our time, California time, that it was over. We're calling it.
Yeah.
Roman Rules is calling it now. We're not even waiting for any election results to fucking come in because we were feeling it.
Yeah.
But Kim had worked really hard on a map, and I think you should explain it and explain why it is the way it is, why we use the colors that we have. And the thing you found out about that video you showed me.
Yeah. So, as we were brainstorming and spitballing and, free flowing last episode, and we talked about you not liking, they switched the blue to the red to the blue. Yeah. And so we were like, we need to take the colors back. And then it formed into like, how about the Republican colors will be the American colors? We'll have red, white, and blue.
Yep.
For our states, right? Because they're the
Patriot states.
American states.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we kind of thought, what would we do? Democrats pink? No. Rainbow flag.
Rainbow flag.
So we conceived that.
Yeah.
And we brought it to fruition. And it was prophetic.
It's perfect because systematically they have tried destroying our country just based on that one issue alone that they're so passionate about.
Yeah.
Just that one issue alone, they came close to destroying the culture of America, the traditions of America. So you know what? Give them that fucking flag.
Let them take pride in it.
Smack them in the face with it, and Kim's gonna.
That's the hill they want to die in. If that's the hill you want to die in, Democrats, you want to die on this hill.
Kim, you did a great job with that, man.
You want to die on this hill. This is what you want. This is what you get, Democrats.
Yeah.
Take pride in what you've done to California. You know what, Tony? We fight hard. You, me, Republicans, we fight hard, but I still feel like a failure. I feel like a failure because when I see this great state, and this is what it is, and I got to be real. I'm not going to be in denial. When I see, and I did this, I made this to point out, I'm ashamed of California.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed. And you know what? Every Californian that goes to another state, you grill them. You give them a Roman Inquisition. You ask them, what did you do to deserve to come here as a refugee? What fight? Show me what fight you put up in California before you left. Because if I ever, God forbid, but if I ever have to leave California like a refugee, I couldn't even look anybody in the eye in whatever new location I go to if I didn't say, you know what though? Look at my resume. Look at the fight I put up. Look at the ankle monitor. Look at the Antifa calling me out by name. Look at the BLM leaders recognizing me because I was formidable. Look at my body of work. How much I tried. Because if you're going to let these Californians come to your state and they didn't try, then fucking kick them back out. Because they're not going to try in your state either. And they're going to bring the failure that we have here now in California. They're going to bring that to you. So tell them to go back to California and do it right.
Fight like a man.
Fight like a man, put some work in, and then come back and show us what you've done. Because this is a disgrace, but this is real. This is a disgrace. You know, New Jersey, I'm going hard on us in California. I'm going hard on you too. We called it for you.
Yeah.
We told you you're going to come out. You're going to come out like Americans. You're going to act like it.
But
right?
no American flag for you. You get
No
the
American
fucking
flag.
rainbow flag.
No, you get the rainbow flag jersey. Close,
But no cigar. No
right?
fucking cigar.
You know, but we hit it. We were closer than anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody predicted this. Jersey, you came close. You know, now what do they call it? What do they call that? It's a battleground state. So
maybe.
You know, you get a little bit of recognition that now you've made some progress. You're a battleground state because the election was so close. But still, you know what? You're a failure in New Jersey. You failed. You need to try again. You got to recover your honor. But right now, take pride in what you are. You want it. You earned it. New York, you take pride in that. And you know what else, Tony? Look, I want to remind New York. This is what you want, New York. You want to be this, all right?
He's got glue in his pocket.
You know what? This is a work in progress. And you know what?
He's ready.
Hey, all you states, just like these rainbow flag, pride flags went on your state, they can come down. We can slap an American flag on your state. Right now, New York, you earned this.
Peanut the Squirrel.
Peanut.
Peanut's awesome, man.
Right?
Can we do a toast to Peanut real quick?
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta
Here's
do
the
that.
peanut.
Peanut's
Peanut.
cool, man.
To Peanut.
Peanut, fucking Peanut, man.
The American spirit.
I love animals. I really, really love them a lot. And when I heard that fucking story, my goodness, and we'll get to that in a second, but everything you're saying is right on.
Yeah.
They sent 4. What more? They sent a SWAT team basically, and not to take out the Haitians, the Venezuelan crime brigades.
They don't have the spine to do that.
No. They sent them out to get a squirrel.
A squirrel and a raccoon, his buddy.
Yeah.
So, like, think about that, New York. Really, I want you to think about what you become. You know, every choice you make defines your character. And that's what's going to define you now, New York. You're not tough guys. You're not, because you know what? Even the tough guys in New York, you let that happen. You let your state go rainbow.
Yep.
Take pride in it.
Yep.
That's what you want. Take pride. Own it, New York. Own it. Own it, Maine, right?
Yep.
What's this one? Minnesota?
That's Minnesota,
Yeah.
Own it, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Chicago, Illinois, right?
Illinois, yeah.
Own that. Own that shit. New Mexico. You know what? The Mexicans I know, they aren't down with that. But these new Mexicans,
The new Mexican.
maybe they need to be new Mexicans. Look at that shit. Look at that shit, New Mexico.
I think every fucking person who voted Dem should be expelled from the fucking country. That's what I would like to do. I mean, if Trump had some real fucking power, we could figure out a way to pull that off. Expel them all, flush them down the toilet. For the states that went Dem, I think that he should set up re-education camps there and process, all the people who voted Dem through them, and then the proven patriots who voted in those states, they can be the guards of the the camps.
Yeah, that's a good point.
and re-educate them.
Because Tony, this isn't just us exaggerating.
Yeah.
Like they own this, and I'll tell you why. We called this last week, but then during the election headquarters for Kamala, what did they have?
Yeah.
They had the American flag.
Yeah.
And then what did they have above the American flag? They had this fake rainbow flag, the pride flag, above the American stars and stripes. So this is not us. We're not slandering you guys. All you people that voted for Kamala, this is what you vote. Take pride in your vote. Own it.
So-
this is you.
So fucking name every state. Shame every state.
Okay.
Right fucking now.
Okay, what is this? We got Washington.
State.
Washington.
Shame.
Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
Oregon.
Embarrassing.
Shame.
Hang your heads in shame.
California.
Disgusting.
I'm embarrassed I live here.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
We didn't do enough to stop these fucktards.
Keep going.
Okay? Hawaii. Right?
Hawaii is.
Shame, right?
After all that happened to them,
Shameful.
they're still voting for the fucking rainbow. Yeah.
After how the deep state
Isn't the
discovered
rainbow
treated you-
flag their color of? Isn't that the color of their flag? Their actual flag
Well, they got a rainbow,
in it? Yeah.
but that's God's rainbow.
Okay,
that's not
okay,
this.
got it,
this
yeah.
this is different
Got it,
because this
got
is
it.
6
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah.
This is falls short of the perfect 7.
Yeah. So they hijacked the other flag.
But any counterfeit
They
from
altered it.
the counterfeit from Satan, it's
Yeah.
not the same, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, New Mexico, we went over that. Shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colorado.
Colorado,
We fucking warned them. We warned them. Next, Illinois, right?
Colorado.
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
shame. Illinois, shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Right? And Doug, you know these ones because
New
you're a New
England.
England. Name them, will you? You
So-
point them out.
All right. So we have Maine.
Shame.
Shameful. You have Vermont, New Hampshire up here, close to
Shame.
each other. Massachusetts.
Fucking
You
terrible.
got
Disgusting.
Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Boston, Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
And they did that.
Yeah.
They did that. What else,
It's
Doug?
sick. It's sickening.
We have Rhode Island and Connecticut, and those are the New England states. And then you have New York State. We already shamed New York a little
Maryland.
bit. So
And then the ones.
as we go
Can't
down,
we- shame them enough,
There's that
Doug.
list over there, Doug, on the right. See
Yeah.
the list?
I'm trying to figure out this. This is Maryland here. What else do we have?
Yeah, New
Rhode
Jersey.
Island, you already
Oh, yeah,
named.
we already talked about New
Jersey,
Jersey.
Jersey.
Bring them up again.
Yeah.
We could bring up 10 times in this episode.
Jersey, yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah.
We have New Jersey.
Delaware.
We have Delaware. You can't really see these very well. They're all clumped in
Because
there.
they're so small.
New
Yeah.
Jersey, I believed in you.
Yeah, we did.
We believed
Yeah,
in you.
you talked us into it, and I was on board.
Yeah.
Well, we
Because
were
we're fellow
close.
Italians. We have so many there.
We were closer than anybody.
Yeah, we were.
Nobody saw that coming but this show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All these paid professionals.
And we have Delaware and then D.C. are the last two.
And then don't forget Virginia.
Oh yeah, Virginia.
And
Jefferson, right?
And because,
Robert E. Lee.
yeah,
Jefferson.
Yeah, and we talk about because of the way they fucking vote, this fucking squirrel died, right? And the raccoon.
Yeah.
And this squirrel, by the way, these people set up a sanctuary. It's called Peanut's Freedom Farm,
Yeah.
and they take care of 300 animals there,
It's like a rescue.
and it's a rescue.
Animal
And
rescue, yeah.
this animal, this little squirrel that he found him because he saw his mother get run over by a car, and he ran out and saved the squirrel. He took care of the squirrel, fed him, took care of him, nursed him back to health too, because I guess he got injured, and then he tried to release it. He released it, and the squirrel kept coming back, and it came back injured again. So he took the squirrel in. The squirrel wanted to be with him. He became a pet. I think the squirrel had like 500,000 followers. I think on Instagram.
Yeah.
He was like the
He's a little celebrity.
spokesman for the
thing.
the charity.
Yeah. So we talk about that squirrel. They were showing some of the fucking clips what that squirrel could fucking do when they trained him.
Yeah.
He's smarter than these fucking voters.
Yeah.
These zombie voters. And you know what? I think about how he was a casualty of this way of thinking, but that's nothing in comparison to the millions of abortions that have happened because of these fucking people.
Oh my god.
The babies that are killed every fucking year because of these fucking people.
The squirrel's
And they need to
emblematic.
what?
Emblematic.
I understand. It's still life.
They
It's
would,
life.
but it is,
God's
it's
creation.
symbolic,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
bigger than the squirrel. They'll do that to any one of us.
Oh yeah,
They didn't give the squirrel due process, Tony.
that's right.
They executed. They killed
Yeah.
the squirrel. Gave the man no opportunity,
No opportunity.
to appeal it,
Euthanize
to
them.
try to do some kind of legal.
What kind of person has that inside of them to do that to an innocent animal?
a coward,
Like, what kind of soul do you have to do something like
a
that?
tyrant
I
coward.
could never do that.
Tyrant cowards, Tony.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
just-
they are.
I just couldn't do it.
So- I gave DC a little flag because DC you're so little.
Yeah.
You get the little
Fucking
the little
DC,
part.
It's not even a real entity almost.
Yeah, and I was born there. I was born in that fucking place, And to think that
I was born in this fucking place.
I think it voted, and he was born in the other liberal place.
Yeah, Connecticut.
And to think that DC voted, I think 95% again, right?
It was.
They're useless.
Shameful.
They're never. They can never get statehood.
No.
Never. They
Never.
don't deserve any electoral votes
It's a
ever.
swamp.
Never.
Yeah.
It's a swamp. That's why.
It's a fucking toilet. So terrible. But thanks for sharing that.
What do we end up with
Beautiful thing.
on the electoral college votes? 312
Yeah,
the good
sorry.
guys.
312,
to
which is huge.
yeah, that's a big. That's a
quote
landslide.
Trump.
To what? 226.
226, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Harry Harris.
So let's go back to fucking Trump for a second. Appreciate it, Kim. That was awesome, man. Good job. I didn't know that you knew how to do arts and crafts like that.
You know, as a kid, I
pretty good.
had to keep busy.
I saw you putting that together. You had a good time.
You know,
Well-
I got a lot on my mind, Tony, and sometimes they tell people that they got issues. I got issues.
Well, it was actually funny. Because
they tell them to find a hobby.
when we were gathering to have the sit down tonight, I'm like, Kim should be here any minute. And then I look in the cameras at the restaurant, and he's still fucking there. And I'm thinking, what? He's in a suit and tie. He's running around the restaurant. Then
Well, I was helping the guys
Then he
out.
messages me and he says, "I'm obsessed with making this map. I'm finishing the map.
I'd
I'm
finished
making it perfect."
Yeah. So by that time, I'd finished the map. I'd been sitting there for a couple hours. I was antsy. So I jumped into action, did a little thing here, there, you know, got the table straightened out and, you know, got people seated and everything like that, made sure everything was good, and then I got out.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, before we get to Trump, you know, on what happened a couple of days ago, you had a good day in court today, and we could feel going into court today for your state case.
yeah.
Because the tiny tyrants are trying to prosecute you on the state case in addition to your J6 case. I say this every time in case people are listening for the first time. You have two cases. One is J6 case and one is a state case. Both tiny tyrants trying to destroy you.
1 month apart.
Because of-
D6,
because of-
December 6th, and then a month
6th.
later, January 6th. But
Because
they're
of what
both
you
political.
represent. Yeah, because of the patriot that you are. And we walked in the courthouse today. The three of us and some supporters were there too. And you could kind of feel, Doug and I talked about it, you can kind of feel the energy on their side has been deflated.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Trump getting elected was kryptonite to these fucking people. And you could feel the weakness in the way they spoke and the way they carry themselves in the courthouse, in the hallways, with the deputies, standing guard, everything. So yeah, just fill us in really quick.
Well, for first and foremost, Tony,
Well, you took advantage of that weakness, and you were
but let me
strong
say
and
this.
powerful. today.
Before we talk about me, Tony,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it without you. You have these sayings, like what's that one quote about fatigue?
Yeah, makes cowards of us all.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And when I thought I can't go on anymore, you know, there's a proverb about a cord of two or more is not easily broken.
Yeah.
And when you came alongside and you kept saying like, fuck no, you don't take a deal. You dig your heels and you keep fighting. You've been saying this to me for years,
Yeah.
right? And this has been years. This fight, these cases, we're talking 3+ years,
Yeah.
right? And all you needed to hear was that from one person. And the fact that I heard it from you made it 100-fold better than just any average person.
I appreciate it.
You inspired me. I held on, right? And now where are we at? They're worn out.
They are getting worn out.
You saw it.
Yeah.
You guys saw it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'd like to talk about the little theatrics they're putting on today.
Go ahead.
So, as you know, we're sitting there in the hallway, and they've done this thing where they've drilled these like posts
Yeah, I saw it.
right there in their beautiful like marble-like floor or whatever it is, right?
In the hallway.
In the hallway.
In front of the
Travertine.
chambers that you're in
In
front
front
of
of
the
the in front of the court-
The
courtroom,
hallway out
yeah.
front of the courthouse.
And they've got this partition, these changeable partition like tent things. They pull them out and you can't see, right? And they keep doing these drills and these exercises, and it looks like people are coming out of a side door and they're hustling all these deputies from one door to another. And they were doing it like every 10, 15 minutes, right? Like marching, right? And we're like, what are they doing? Are they escorting like a high power defendant or, you know, someone like political or what? No. They were just doing these exercises. And you know, I had business to conduct, so I wasn't paying too much attention to it, but it got my attention and it got my notice. And then, you know, after we all left, Tony, we all left my hearing like in triumph. And we all walked out to the vehicles. We talked and everything. About 25, 30 minutes later, I was back in that hall. I want to check it out. All of it done.
Shit was gone.
They weren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
The guy's sitting there. I asked him, hey, are they still doing that thing? He's like, no, they haven't done it for a while. I said, like, how long? So they stopped doing that when we left.
Mm.
And given what I've seen, what I've learned over this journey, here's what I believe, Tony. And I got a theory, but on matters like this, you could take my theory as fact. I think the stuff you say on this show, I think it gets the government's attention. I think when you say some stuff.
Well, because they're prosecuting you, they're following everything about you. So they probably see the show because right? I mean, think about it.
Well, we
Especially
told
the feds.
we told that
Especially the
federal
feds.
public defender we had a show.
That's right.
And they took a lot of interest. And
We
we
told
know
them.
we know who she works
That's right.
for.
That's right. We told
Now he's a
them.
regular viewer.
So Orange County is unique because no other county has this situation where they have like they have this special organization in Orange County that's like a liaison between the federal and the county,
Okay.
like law enforcement. And so what I believe is when you say some stuff, you say some stuff. You
Yeah.
say some things.
Yeah.
You said things, hard stuff.
Yeah. I heard things.
Then they do this. The feds, they get worried. They send a memo to local law enforcement in Orange County and say, we have a credible threat.
Take precautions.
Take precautions,
Yeah.
exactly.
The election just happened. They're fired up. Who knows how many supporters are going to show up? How are they going to behave, right?
Exactly. Is it gonna go viral? Is it gonna be like a flash mob at the courthouse now?
But you asked at the very end of it today, you asked for what you deserve. And you
Well, let me
got it.
finish. I want to talk
Okay.
about this little
I want
tangent.
you to get to that, though.
I want to talk about this
I
little
just don't
tangent.
want you to forget.
Because what they did, Tony, it reminds me of like how when China sends out their military, their warships on maneuvers around Taiwan, and they're shooting, long range,
Over their head.
over Taiwan. We're just practicing.
Yeah.
But you know what they're doing.
Yeah, sure,
They're
sure.
flexing.
Yeah.
Right? And that to me, like these people don't know what to do with you. They don't know what to do with us. I think that's for a flex, that was weak.
That's their flex.
That's
man. I'll send my 6-month-old son to deal with it.
That was their flex, Tony. And that they don't know what else to do. How do they deal with us?
That's pretty bad.
And you know what?
That's a good point, though.
That's what I believe. That's my theory, but you can take
I
it
think
as
you're
a
right, because
fact.
it's the first thing I noticed when I walked, because I had to handle something first. I got there a little bit late before it started. I met you guys in the hallway, but first thing I looked up and saw was that fucking barricade.
All they got to say is...
Never seen that before. It wasn't in front of any other courtroom, only yours.
And did you see how solemn...
And then it came down right when we left, you said.
So I read the room. That courtroom, even though I inevitably got, as you said, everything I wanted, that courtroom seemed very solemn and formal.
It did.
And I read the room, and I knew, because there's weird stuff happening.
Yeah.
And so I think that there was like a memo put out or something like, we got a real incredible threat, take this seriously, take precautions, like you say. That's what I think happened. That's the story. But you know what? Blinders on, because that's nothing.
Yeah.
We don't care about their little flex.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I do in that courtroom today? I got everything I wanted.
Yeah.
I got what I asked for. I got my $100,000 bail.
Well,
bond.
we went up there and scheduled the trial date.
Oh yeah, we pushed it back next year.
But I'm saying, like, when they're asking you, is that okay, Mr. Sargento? You're like, fuck yeah. But basically what you're saying is, fuck yeah, that's how it's heard. Bring it on. We fucking want the trial date. We're not fucking scared.
Yeah, I'm not
right?
scared. I want to go to trial.
But then he said, anything else? And then you said...
He said, anything else? And I said, well, yeah, Your Honor, if the court will indulge, I'd like to make an oral motion for bail reduction. And then he said, how much? What did I say?
No, he said, how much are you asking for it to be reduced? And you said, how about zero? How about the zero? Yeah.
Reduction to zero.
To
zero,
zero.
Your
And then
Honor.
he
Cut in
looked
half,
at the DA.
Yeah.
He put the
prosecutor,
DA.
yeah,
He put
deputy
the,
DA.
He put the assistant DA. He put the prosecutor on the fucking in the spotlight, right?
He didn't know
put the
what to
pressure
say.
on him. All eyes are on him.
Do
now
you
we're
object
all,
to this?
You know, we're all staring at him now. The supporters, us, and I'm kind of new to this now because the old prosecutor tapped out.
Yeah.
So he's got it in his lap now.
They want him to be the fall guy.
Yeah, he looked confused, and then he said, "I guess I'm okay with it," and done.
So the judge says, "So you're out on your own recognizance." So I pointed out, I said, "Your Honor, I'm traveling to D.C. There have been some issues with the ankle monitor and the bail and these different things, and it could hinder my ability to go to D.C. I'm not going anywhere, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I've been wearing this ankle monitor for over 3 years.
But still, from 100,000 to zero, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
I've never seen that before.
Okay, but you know what?
You ever seen that happen before, Doug?
Here's the thing. It's a new day, and we need
That's right,
to get.
and we knew it.
We need to get what they've been giving them.
Yeah.
They've been giving them no bail,
Yeah.
which means they go free.
Yeah.
You know what? They owe me because I had to forfeit some money to make that $100,000, which they had as a bond until today.
Yeah, they're gonna owe you a lot after this.
I had to forfeit money, and that bond hanging over my head was like, I felt like a liability because any little mistake, and then what? I'm back in custody and I have to cough up a new bail.
Yeah.
So it's about time that bail goes away. Like all those BLM prosecutions arrests went away like magic in 2020. While fucking Kamala Harris is raising bail money for them. And then they say, you know what? Let's just not have bail anymore. Well, funny how that not have bail anymore in 2021 applied to everybody but me.
Yeah.
I languished in Orange County Jail for 70 days until I could make the bail.
Yeah.
But all these rioters, these insurrectionists, and you know what? Speaking of FBI, I'm warning you. If you try and conduct an insurrection on this president-elect, this incoming administration, if you do any insurrection, we the people will find you and we will hold you accountable because insurrection to this administration, this president is not going to be tolerated, and any form of it, you will be paying with your lives because the punishment for treason is death. And that's the real insurrection. So FBI, some people want to play it nice, but you know what? All you good FBI agents, the fact that you're letting that happen, you can go down with them too.
Yeah.
You can go down with them too. Because if the FBI conducts any fucking insurrection this time around, just wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see, because you know what? It's no more time to play.
No more time to play.
No more time to play.
I remember you were telling me a story. The way they punish you to a degree was just insane. They put you in a cell where you told me you were in there for 70 days, and I think you were in which jail was it?
Orange County.
Which jail was it? Was it L.A.?
No, it was the high rise in Orange
You were
County.
saying something about how you had to lay on the floor and stick your nose under the bars because the stench was so fucking bad. You don't have to describe it perfectly. You know what I mean? Like gross people out, but that's how bad it was for you.
Okay, so I get in there and I forgot what they call it, the loop, right? And so this is designed to psychologically break you, right? They move you from basically cement, stone cold, dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. And it's called the loop because they leave you in this one for like 2, 3, 4 hours.
And which jail was it again? Sorry.
The Orange County.
It was Orange County Jail, the high rise one.
It's the Theo Lacey jail, isn't it?
I think it may have been Theo Lacey.
Okay, so go ahead.
So they have you there. I mean, I want to forget it all, but like the first thing I go in there and it's just me and all of these, what they would call, I guess, border brothers. No one speaks English.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fat. They're all like sleeping off their alcohol from DUIs or whatever, right? I look on the wall, it says maximum occupancy 15. I count, there's 18 people in there, and it's stuffy. The vent's not working. Both toilets are like just overflowing, like just with hard waste, right? And the smell, the stench, the thick air, no air, all these people breathing, like, and I was overweight from stress and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I laid down on the floor. There was no place to sit anyways. Everybody's sleeping on these concrete benches. I laid down on the floor and got my face as close to the crack underneath the door as I could, so I could get some air. And I laid there and I was like, fuck, I gotta lose fucking weight. I gotta lose some fucking weight. And so I'm sitting there and they move you from one holding tank to another one.
Yeah.
They move you like, 4 or 5. You spend 5 hours in this one, you spend 3 hours in that one. And then the cold, it just wicks the warmth from your bones. So by the time you're done, your body's burned calories just to keep you warm. So you're cold and you're weak and you're tired. And then you're like relieved to get your cell, get a bedroll, go in. And then they put me in this little cell about the size of a bathroom. Yeah. And I'm in there with this other guy and they had me in quarantine in there for 19 days, right? Because of the COVID BS, right? And so, yeah, I did a lot of prayer and fasting and I lost that weight.
You lost weight. You came out looking great.
I lost that weight and
you made the best of it. But this is what they did to you. It's what the enemy does to you and what they would love to do to every one of you watching that supports us. Happened to you. They did this to you because you defended yourself and others at a freedom rally against gangbanging, Antifa, scumbag guys that came at you with brass knuckles and
after
others,
punching
them,
women.
and you were the only one that stood up and defended them. And they're calling them the victims, have them testifying against you, a patriot, a father, a family man. And
I wasn't the only one, Tony, but I spearheaded it, and then about 3 or 4 other people jumped in after I led the way to let's stand against this, right? And we did, but I didn't do anywhere near the amount of damage that the guys that jumped in after me did. But I'm the only one that got arrested, charged, and did jail time for it. But I have no regrets because I did the right thing.
Yeah.
But I got singled out. And not just for that, Tony, because then within 2 days, they did bring up in that initial hearing, the prosecutor brought up 2 things, very relevant. He brought up that I was going to the county board of supervisors. Yeah. When we'd go and protest against the lockdown.
Yeah, I don't want to go off into that. But
and then the second one was he brought up that I was a January 6th person.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So these are all the things they hold against you.
But this is why, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to get back to what this sit down tonight is all about is holding the people around Trump right now accountable. Now, when I said stop fucking dancing about Trump, I want him to be a serious commander in chief, a badass.
Yeah,
and he has to remember to the victor goes the spoils. Okay. And there's no fucking deals. There's no niceties. There's no now let's reach across the aisle, make fucking peace. No, you gotta ratchet up the fucking war now. Yeah. It's unleash hell on the enemy. And
term 1, he was he gets elected.
2016, yeah. Go ahead.
He was pretty nice to these people. I mean, he didn't go after Hillary and some of the others that did obviously criminal things.
Yeah.
And look what they did to him. Impeached him twice. I mean, they just went after him.
They see it as weakness.
Okay, well, it's starting because Joe Rogan. Okay, I don't know if you heard this. This just happened just a little while ago, maybe right before I even saw you guys tonight. Fuck what the standards are for a guy that Joe Rogan, a comedian, tries to set for him and the administration. Joe Rogan, I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's done good things. His podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's telling Trump right now. Remember, he's a stand-up comedian. That's what he really is.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to respect him like he's a fucking general. Okay. This fucking guy, never forget, supported Bernie Sanders. He endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2020. Bernie Sanders, an admitted socialist, a fucking commie.
Yeah.
Okay, this fucking guy. Worse. And he's now telling Trump, and he's going hard about it, do not attack them. He says, it's time for you to unite with them.
That's...
And, he needs to he needs to shut the fuck up because he was only a few words away a couple months ago from endorsing Kamala.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was right on the fucking edge.
If you're that stupid, you don't get to open your fucking mouth. If you're that stupid, and then you want to come in and you're going to lead us the new way, like to what? The failure way?
Yeah, smoke your weed in your fucking studio and just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, smoke your weed,
Let the rest
bald
of us do
hippie.
the fucking what?
Smoke your weed, bald hippie.
Bald hippie.
Shut the fuck up and smoke your weed.
Just do your fucking
You're
show.
done. We don't need you anymore.
Just entertain us.
Yeah.
Just fucking entertain us, okay?
Court jester, go make your funny man jokes.
The guy that you made a great point yesterday. You and I were talking at the restaurant, and you said, "What balls does it take to endorse him
the day before,
30 seconds before the election?
What a pussy!
Like, you fucking waited. You hedged because
especially this election when almost half or more than half the votes were cast weeks before." He endorsed. So
I would have respected him more if he said nothing than endorsing Trump a day before the election.
It was so hollow, and it was to me.
Well, it's cowardly. Honestly.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it was inspiring. You know.
No.
But what's funny is that what these guys don't understand is when you win a battle like this, you finish the job.
Yeah.
You conquer the enemy. I saw, conquered, right?
Yep.
So Julius Caesar said, and then you submit them, right? Then you re-educate them, right? Then they're all under your banner.
And you
That's how you unite them. Under your fucking banner, under your fucking rules.
Yes.
That's how you fucking
convert them.
It's your fucking rules now.
Yeah.
There's no unite. You can't take two sides that hate each other and unite. Never going to happen unless one submits the other.
Yes.
And it better be us submitting them.
Yes.
Otherwise, what happened to him is going to happen to everybody
Yes.
on our fucking side.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't fucking understand. And then today, another thing concerns me a lot. He made this big announcement that he selected his first cabinet member. I guess you'd call it cabinet, right?
Yeah,
cabinet member.
Administration.
Susan Wiles. So Susan Wiles is a grandmotherly political operative, and
she's in her late 60s.
Late 60s.
She's a fucking Karen.
Well, listen, this woman, she helped him, I guess, win in 2016. She helped him win against. She helped organize his campaign. Great.
But she's the one. No, Tony, she's the one that wanted him to reach out to Enrique and Jamal.
Yes. Well, she's the one. How did
that work out for you? Did Enrique and Jamal show up in massive numbers?
Yeah. She wants him to be. She wants him. She's been credited for toning him fucking down, right? But
she's the one.
She is. He now appointed her as his chief of staff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's gonna have. They're already putting out headlines that say command her in chief, like calling that she's gonna be calling the fucking shots. Yeah. Okay. She's a woman. That's the first fucking problem. I'm sure she did a good job of the campaign. Good. You know what?
No.
If we ever campaign again, maybe somebody will hire you. Get the fuck out.
He won in spite of her, Tony. He won in spite of her. That's all.
She needs to get the fuck out.
Well, you know what? He's good for that. He does rotations.
Okay. So she endorsed, first of all, she's a self-described moderate. Yeah. She says, I'm a moderate.
Nora.
She endorsed Romney. She supported Chris Christie. She supported Nikki Haley. She supported Jeb Bush. And she even worked on lobbying projects with somebody that ran the Obama campaign. And the Democrats speak highly of her. The Democrats love her.
All traitors, and she's a traitor. Her. She's a traitor too.
And that fucking Charlie Kirk, he was pushing for it for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
He fucking wanted it. The same guy, people send me clips all the time.
Yeah.
And they sent me clips of him pumping her up. Trump needs to choose her. And then he starts talking about, somebody sent me a clip where he's on his show and his partner on his show says something kind of borderline hard, right, core, but he kind of finesses his way around it. And Charlie Kirk says, "Good job doing that, because there's things we can't say, and we don't want to. We're on YouTube. We got to be careful. Fuck you.
Careful.
Let us take over.
Careful.
Give us your platform.
Yeah.
We'll show you how to fucking do it. No fucking fear.
Move over, bitch. We're driving.
Yeah, exactly. But
so the bottom line is, it's let's see here. Election was Tuesday, so by Thursday, he's already made his first biggest mistake.
and we were worried about it. We were totally
we
concerned
called
about it.
We all knew it.
We fucking knew it. So, but the one guy I do like, and he better pick him as Attorney General. I don't know if you heard of this guy. It's this tough-looking white dude. His name's Mike Davis. Have you heard of him? I
think I've heard the name.
This guy said after the election, "I want to drag their dead political bodies through the streets, burn them, and throw them over the fucking wall."
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what I'm talking about.
He said legally, politically, and financially. Of course, wink, wink is what he said.
And in Minecraft.
That's I just started hearing that from Thomas, and I had no idea what that meant.
It's
Can
an
you
old
explain?
saying. Okay, so like there were some
Every time I say something that people think is too hard, they'll go Minecraft.
like there were
He
people
started it.
there were people no there were people
other people are doing it.
A couple years ago there were people that were saying things online, I think maybe in gaming or something, and so then like of course we got a tyrannical government.
Yeah.
So they came to hold them to task for their words, and they'd say something like, "Oh, I'll kill him," or "I'll this or that," and they said, "But I meant in Minecraft."
Oh,
Which
the game.
It's like a game.
Got it.
I meant in Minecraft. No,
Got
I'm
it,
saying
got
Minecraft is like alternate reality.
And that's the cover.
it's like this virtual reality
Virtual
thing where
reality,
you're like
yeah,
in this
yeah.
digital world, like
So it's
you know,
not
a
real
game.
life. It's like
Yeah, so then that became kind of a joke when people would say they'd say something a little hard, and then they go in Minecraft, like just to cover. It's like a joke. It's kind of like subtly mocking the government for being such petty tyrants.
Sure.
And
That's funny.
it's also like covering your bases,
Yeah.
but like in a mocking way.
That's funny. I would love, speaking of young people, I would love to meet some young people. I'd love for them to come by and say hello to us at the restaurant and tell us that they had been brainwashed when they were young by their parents or their girlfriends or whatever to vote Dem, but they finally voted on the right side, and because what they've basically done is they freed themselves from the shackles. They finally freed themselves from the shackles of this tiny tyrant slave masters, and they don't realize what freedom that's going to give them going forward for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, you've hired a lot of them.
I didn't know that at the fucking time, because when I hired them, it was before the lockdowns. They didn't know what I stood for. I mean, they heard me speak. Of course, they probably knew, but they didn't know how hardcore I was till the lockdown started and we went to war. But
You made a man out of many young men because they were searching. Like you said, they come from these liberal homes.
Yeah.
And they never saw anything like you.
I don't know.
And they were like,
I appreciate that.
I want that. And so they came around, they started working for you, and you taught them how to be Americans.
Well, one of the proudest moments I had is when one of the young men came up to me and said, "You're turning us into lions," and that was the coolest thing I ever heard. That was just from a regular young guy that I don't know. I don't think he even knew which direction he was heading politically.
Well, then you've got that great picture. Like, as you said that, I got that image in my mind of that great picture with you in the center of all your crew, all your boys.
Yeah, that was during the thick of it.
Yeah.
But going to war with these fucking people and treating them like enemy combatants when you capture them. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York.
New York,
New York? Yeah, New York, and Letitia James, isn't she the prosecutor in New York that's trying to throw Trump in jail?
No, there's a couple different ones. I think
Yeah,
so.
Letitia
But that's
James.
one of them,
She's-
yeah. That sounds familiar.
But,
There's a guy. There's a
Black woman.
Bragg is the other one of it.
Yeah.
New York City,
So-
maybe.
He
Yeah,
campaigned
Bragg-
on it, right? He said he's
But
going to take out Trump.
But they're now fucking scared, and they're saying
They need to be.
They should be.
We're strategizing right now to basically defend ourselves against any revenge and retribution for the things that we did.
Yeah.
To
Oh, you
him.
mean answering for their fucking criminal behavior?
And that's what I want them. I want them to fucking feel fear, and he better press the fucking issue, press it, and also come to
No compromising this.
Yeah,
time.
Did Trump show fear? No. You know why? Because he did nothing wrong. You know why they show fear? Because they're fucking bitch-ass criminals.
They know they
did crimes. They did wrong, and now it's time to pay the price. And he should not go easy.
Well, what won this election too is one thing I noticed was where so many people were finally speaking out proudly and boldly about what they believed and who they were going to support. If we start doing that, if our side, like I always say, like their side needs to be the one whispering about who they support.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was always, before this, it was always their side spoke loudly and boldly about who they supported, what they believed, and our side's always whispering at the cafes. We got to make them whisper.
Like Reagan said, the silent majority.
No more silent majority. Loud as fuck majority. That's how we have to. We got to fucking stomp them into the ground.
Show them real pride. American
show
pride.
Them unafraid.
Red, white, and blue. Real pride.
Yeah.
None of this fucking fake, fucking contrived pride with your six colored fake rainbow flag and all your fucking degenerate ways.
Yeah.
You know, you've surrendered those states. You surrendered your right to be Americans.
Right.
You need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. And if you want to try, there's this meme where there's like this NPC leftist saying something like, this something like this means war or something like that. And then there's a Chad, right? Listening to the little NPC.
Explain what a Chad means.
So a Chad is like a dude. You're a Chad, Tony. Why are you asking me to explain what a Chad is? You're a Chad.
You're the first person who said it.
It's like an alpha male, big jaw, So the Chad character, the Chad is got the NPC, which would be like a brainwashed moron that follows the program. And it's taken from online gaming where you have these like certain digital characters that just always say the same script, right? They're not an independent character. There's nobody behind that working it. So that's the NPC, the modern left, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got the Chad, the NPC saying something to the effect like, well, then we're going to go to war and this and that. And then the next frame, the Chad's leaning in to whisper, and the words are, I accept your terms.
I love that.
The terms of what the battle's going to be.
Oh, the war. Okay.
Because the left can't fucking meme and they can't fucking fight.
Got it.
They talk a big game, but they ain't got shit to back it up.
I got to see that.
And I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
I understand it better, yeah. But he needs to arrest every fucking person. He needs to arrest all his fucking enemies that try prosecuting him.
Yeah.
He needs to arrest his the traitors in his own circle that he appointed into positions. I mean, think of the opportunities he gave these fucking people to elevate their careers. They betrayed him, stabbed him in the heart, they stabbed him in the front. They
betrayed us all because Trump.
All of us.
Trump said it.
Exactly.
He said it 4.5 years ago. He said, "Remember, they're not after me. Yeah. They're after you.
Yeah.
I'm just in the way."
Right. That's right.
So all these people that came after him.
I got a top 10
list.
They
attacked me. They attacked you. They attacked.
I got a top 10 list of his traitors, his personal fucking traitors.
I like it.
Let's go through the list.
Yeah, we'll go through that in a minute. But he needs to arrest them. He needs to arrest anyone that voted illegally. Arrest.
Yes.
Give him 20 years. He needs to
fines.
He needs to work on locking down the elections finally and standardizing them. This is ridiculous the way fucking elections are conducted now. Still waiting around for fucking Arizona and California and New Mexico. It's fucking ridiculous. It's insanity.
California, there's still the mail-in votes are still countable up until I think this Saturday.
He needs
5 days after the election.
He needs to be loyal to his friend Giuliani. Run to his defense. They're giving this fucking judge is now giving him. We talked about Giuliani the last two or three times we've fucking been here. They're giving him, I think, 72 hours to turn over all his shit to these people, to these fucking thugs, with these two chicks who are trying to rake him over the fucking coals and steal from him. That's basically what it is, theft.
Yeah,
what they're doing to him, wanting him to turn over all of his assets, physical assets, money, everything. For fucking what?
Yeah, it was a sham trial to begin with, but he's appealing it, and they want him to turn over all.
They're saying 72 hours. If he could hear us now, like we just talked about, stand your ground. Yeah. Say fuck you, you'll get nothing.
And that's not even due process because here's the thing: When you have the appeal, that stays the proceeding. So you can't collect the judgment when you have the appeal in effect. And I'm sure Giuliani's got an appeal going.
They have to be, yeah.
So this is organized crime.
Yeah, but even if you didn't have a fucking appeal, still say no, you're not getting it.
No, but I'm saying they're not the rules that they pretend they're playing by.
Yeah.
They're not playing by those rules.
Yeah.
And so you know what? This is criminal enterprise, and they need to be investigated, and they need to be giving up who are their handlers, who are their funders, and it's RICO. We need to find them all.
That's right. They don't play by the fucking rules. And I tell people this when in my business, in my private security business, when I do fixer jobs for people, and they come to me and they have a problem and they want to resolve it or fight back. They're being victimized in some way, whether it be a business, their family, personal issue. They sit with me and they say, "Oh, I'm really nervous to sit here with you. This makes me nervous. I don't know. I don't know if I should be doing this." And then they say, "But just tell me what you think I should do," and I'll explain to them. And then they'll say, and they're usually dealing with a scumbag, right? And they're being steamrolled. And I'll say, "This is what you need to do." I'll lay out a game plan, and then they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm not sure if I can do it." I go, "Look, there's gray area, but you know what? If you don't fight the way I'm telling you to fight, the other side, they're not playing by the fucking rules. Yeah. You're gonna lose."
Yeah.
So are you willing to fight to win or not?
Yeah.
And it's funny because the ones that have the balls to actually do it, whether it be a man or a woman, they once they do it, once they retain us, it's like an addiction because they start to sense like they have people who have their backs, a sense of power, a sense of strength. You know what I mean? So Trump needs to get behind him, Giuliani, and Giuliani needs to tell them to fuck themselves. Fuck you. You're not getting shit.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's the deal I'm making you. You want a deal? The deal is you get nothing. Yeah. Like Michael Corleone said, Godfather 2. My deal is this. You'll get nothing, and I'd appreciate if you tell the judge, you pay my fucking legal fees.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Tony,
and maybe I'll talk to Trump about keeping you out of jail.
The judges need to be sanctioned as hard because they're allowing all this stuff to happen.
No, not sanctioned. Fucking Guantanamo Bay.
They sanctioned. Yeah.
Right. That kind of sanction, I can
sanction the families. Throw him in jail and sanction the fucking families.
Because they're in on it.
3 levels deep.
They're in on it. And you know what?
3 fucking generations deep. Let them all pay the price. Let them all pay the price. Their offspring pay the price for what their father did.
What you just said, though, about what you would do for these clients.
Yeah.
And then they would get addicted to the winning.
Yeah.
They'd get addicted to the power of having a backer, a supporter, someone, an advocate like you.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you gave me, Tony.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Like that, like getting back to that, circling back, like they say. Circle back.
Circle back.
You made it possible for me to take on tyrannical government. Like people don't know, how is this guy taking on the federal government? How's he taking on the DA of Orange County? Sometimes all you need is a Tony Roman.
Well, for me too, at the restaurant, I'm out there a lot, and knowing that you guys both stay close by there, and knowing that you guys have your eyes on things, and when there's trouble there, I know that I got you guys have my back. That gives me a ton of strength too. It means a lot. It gives me a lot of peace of mind.
It's the least I can do.
Having guys that are loyal like that. I mean, you guys are the closest things fucking to me. But Trump needs to also draft a standard for fighting. And he needs to make sure every motherfucker that comes into that White House, into the cabinet, signs it, a pledge.
Signs the pledge.
Signs the fucking pledge. No compromise, never give an inch, compromise nothing, sacrifice everything, right, for the beliefs, and have no fucking fear, declare war on the enemy, and in the end, flush this anti-American treasonous filth down the fucking toilet. Yeah. Just flush it out.
He's surrounded by people that are trying to steer him into moderation and maybe probably failure. So we need to shout louder than their whispers. Yeah. And even though they got his ear, if we shout louder, he will hear.
Well, think of the things that he said that the left and the media were fucking jumping on before the election in his campaigns. He's talking about going after his enemies. He's talking about mass deportations. I go on and on. He got voted in with a mandate. He got voted in overwhelmingly and that means people agreed with him. We agree with you. Do it. We think you can fix things. So if those are the things you also want to do, fuck it, do it. We don't care. Just get it fucking done. And I think where the left made a big, big mistake, I talked to you about this, Kim, already, was that I think that when they were doing exit polling on the day of the election, you kept hearing about them saying that democracy was the number one fucking issue. So they thought that they were going to win. The left thought they were going to win because they felt if democracy was the number one issue, that must mean that people are upset about J6. It didn't turn out that way. What I think the pollsters missed is that democracy could have been for our side because maybe people were seeing it instead as democracy meaning you got a president, a fucking tiny tyrant dictator like Biden trying to prosecute the president, Trump, throwing J6ers in fucking gulags, right? And you're stealing elections. So the democracy issue, I think, was something that influenced people to vote on our side, not on their side.
Because the will of the people was not being heard. And you know what, though, Tony? I had the realization today. Trump is a threat to democracy. Because we're a fucking constitutional republic.
Exactly.
And all these fucking stupid asses,
they don't
they don't even fucking know.
We're
not a democracy.
Yep.
We're a republic. Like the Roman Republic.
Yep.
We're a constitutional republic. Democracy means that if 51% of the country wants to take 49% of the country's shit or wants them dead, that's their democracy, right?
Yeah.
The two wolves vote to eat the fucking sheep. The one sheep.
Yeah.
Right? No. We're a constitutional republic, and the schools have failed. The fucking Marxists have made it designed so the schools fail. Nobody knows anything anymore. And so we need you, our podcast, our voice to get out there to show people there's more than what you know from these leftist indoctrinated schools. They're indoctrinating your kids, and they're turning on you as parents, and they're turning on everything you knew and enjoyed in this country. We need to get people to learn how to be Americans and act like it, but knowledge, they need to have the knowledge.
Well, when you pull out your map, one thing I forgot to point out, the most patriotic state of all 50 states, which one do you think it is? The one that voted most in line with us, with what we believe. Go ahead. You get one shot. You get one pick.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
Just the reddest state. What do you think is the reddest state?
It's kind of like West Virginia or something like that.
Nope.
No, I say Oklahoma.
Thomas, I'm asking you. He's back there. Thomas?
The voice.
It's Oklahoma.
What? You said Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Oh, Wyoming.
Okay.
But far and away. So fuck yeah, Wyoming.
Freedom. Far away from all the bullshit.
Yeah, but there's only 4 people to live there. That's it.
Well, you know what it is? Cities are inherently evil because people get into a collectivist mindset, which very easily translates to socialism. And cities are the places where you have all the social welfare programs. So that's why, when people talk about civil war, it's not going to be this section of the country against that. It's going to be the cities against the rural folk, because the cities are where all of this degeneracy, all of this fucktardation about voting for Kamala.
Well, we gotta write that one down.
The cackling hyena. That's where it comes from. Every city, if you look at it, the cities are their little, and that's why they could steal elections out of cities, because that's where the votes get counted. So, that's where the riggers would come into play and start pushing people out. And then the cops don't do shit because the mayor's a fucking Democrat, right? And so cities are bad.
Well, you put the flags are perfect because I don't know if you heard this, but you probably did. The LGBTQ community voted 86%. 86% of them voted for Kamala. 86. Think about that. Fucking 86. And the self-hating Jews, 79%.
Yeah. That's hard to understand. Why? Because the Democratic Party does not really support Israel. It doesn't.
Exactly. So exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's why I call them self-hating Jews.
Yeah.
They're the first ones, if you think about it too, they're the ones, the Jewish comedians, a lot of times you'll see them do stand-up.
Yeah.
And they'll actually make jokes about going into ovens and all these other things. Like they'll make jokes about Hitler and they'll put on shows about Hitler,
Yeah.
like dancing on the stage. It's like, who fucking? That's self-hate. That's self-hating.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Well, I mean, I'm a Christian.
I can't understand it.
I'm a Christian, and I think you don't have a moral rudder without Christ.
That's right.
Christ is king.
Well, that's the problem. That's their problem.
Yeah. All these pride people, pride goes before the fall. You want to go and do your thing, but guess what? In the end, it says there's a way that seems right to man, but in the end, that way leads to destruction, right? So, you know what? If you want to do the ways that seem right to God, then you have hope.
Yeah, and Kamala, if you heard her crowd, she gave a speech somewhere I saw where the crowd tried to do the whole USA chant. You know, our side always does it with like force.
She tried to
It
start
was
the
so
chant. No one
they started doing the USA thing, but it was so clumsy and weak. Like they had never done it
Because they don't feel it.
They had never done it before.
They
like
don't feel it.
They had they'd never done it before. And they had this guy named fuck, what's his name? He was an attorney general in Philadelphia. I forget his name, but this attorney general in Philadelphia, or DA, I forget which. Yeah, it'd be DA. He was talking tough. I don't know if you saw. He did the same thing. He got up there and he said something like, "If anyone's gonna mess with our elections and you think you're gonna get away with it, go ahead and effing try and see what." Trying to be a tough guy, you know, like a wannabe tough. We were talking about this earlier. Tough people who are wannabe tough guys. They've never done anything tough in their lives.
Yeah.
And
who was he saying? Go
and I
and
said,
try.
that guy.
What's going to happen? What did he say?
Yeah, he didn't say just don't F around, see what happens.
Well, that's what I'm saying with
And
the FBI.
I said to myself, that guy didn't seem like he felt it. That seemed kind of staged. So I said, that guy's got to be a lefty, man. So, of course, I got his name off the screen, looked him up, and Dem, for sure. Democrat. Yeah.
So it's stolen valor.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to be a man.
Yeah. And to think that she spent $1 billion on the election, I think, man,
who are these people throwing this money at her?
Well, the Democrats are now the party of the elite rich, you know, the corporations, the 1%, everything they railed against, you know, 15, 20 years ago. Well, that's who's pulling the strings, and all these fucking dupes with their, what did I say, fucktardation?
Yeah, fucktardation.
Right? Because like, you know, what they got their saying, like, vote blue no matter who.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
That's one of the Democrats' sayings.
That's a good one.
Vote blue no matter who.
That's funny.
So it doesn't matter if it's her and
Sounds like something Al Sharpton would say.
Well, she's drunk. She's probably drunk
for them, though.
on election night.
That's creative for them. You never forget they're fucking dumber than that squirrel. So that's pretty good for them.
But they got a little flair, right? You know, but yeah.
But you know, I would like to see every dumb fuck sucker that gave them that money, $1 billion. I would like to see them taken captive by those poor countries that don't even have rice to fucking eat. Right? And just hold them, just take them prisoner. And they should all be tortured. Because think about that. You got starving countries and you got these people giving money, $1 billion to run an election that you fucking lose, too.
Yeah.
And
on her. They bet on a losing horse.
Yeah.
She's a horse, Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, and all this talk about women, too, supporting Trump. Yeah, that's fine. But still, it was a 10% swing in direction of Kamala for women and 10% for the men on our side. And I saw a report where this woman was saying, they asked her in line, who are you voting for? And she said, I have to be quiet about it. And I didn't tell anybody at the office who I was voting for, but I'm voting Trump. And the interviewer asks her and says, okay, so what do you do? She says, I'm in the Army. Oh, so you were in the Army office with your... She says, yeah, with my female colleagues. And if they all knew that I was voting for Trump, they'd be really, really upset. Well, there you go. There you have it.
They shouldn't be in the Army anyway.
Exactly.
They shouldn't be. Like,
they should, yeah. To fucking begin with, they shouldn't be in the Army. We talked about that, yeah.
No, I was just saying this. You know what, Tony? There's this J6 group that was telling me, you know, we're here for you. And so I've been dealing with them off and on for like 2 months, right? They didn't give me anything. But, you know, I go to their little groups and, you know, confer and listen to their talk. But finally, it was like about 4 days ago, it got too much for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it was mostly women. It was like 75% women, right? And all these women are saying, now, if Trump wins, we got to remember be careful what you say. Don't say anything, so don't risk it. And we got to make sure, and this and that, and just like I realized, like these people are at odds with me in every step, every single thing. It's weak. It's the men in the group are low T because how can you not be? You're sitting here listening to this weak ass talk, right? And it was like I had to get out. I said to them, one of the things I said, you know what? We are in this problem right now because women have taken the reins and they've maneuvered it into this weak direction. Oh no, listen, little man. This woman starts going off on me and like that. And she gets all in a huff and everything. But guess what? You can say that to me, but you try and say that when the enemy's at the gate. You try and smart off like that to them, and they'll fucking bust.
Well, you got one of them now as chief of staff. And you
I know we got to get rid of these people. This is
women
a problem.
Should vote. Women should be in the fucking military. They shouldn't be chief of staff.
All I said was we're different. I said, you know what?
We're different.
Men need to. I didn't even say. I didn't even say women should be excluded. I mean, we should exclude them, but I said men and women are different. Men should be leading the side. That was too much for them.
Just let us have our role.
That was too much for them. Yeah. For me to say men should be leading this role, and like. She got her panties all in a bunch, her old grandma panties all in a bunch. And then I realized, like, you know what? This group doesn't do anything for me. They don't do anything for anybody.
Grandma panties, that's fucking good.
Yeah, this old granny, like, was stepping up to me. It's funny. And what reality?
But their 10% is expected, like 10% swing towards Kamala for the women, the advantage of the women. That's expected. They're voting how you expect them to vote.
Yeah.
But men, only 10% advantage for fucking Trump? Only 10%? Yeah. Who are these other fucking men? I was watching this fucking one guy get interviewed, this young guy.
They're the eunuchs.
Hispanic guy. Yeah, fucking eunuchs. This one guy, he was being interviewed in line, getting ready to vote at a poll. And he said that he was voting for Kamala because his girlfriend said if he didn't, she would fucking break up with him. You know?
So they're just getting beat. These men, boys, whatever, getting beaten down.
So if he doesn't if he doesn't get his girlfriend's boyfriend some ice cream, after they have a nice little time together, she's breaking up with him.
Exactly. It was probably a test. So when he came home,
what
she should have done, when he came fucking home, she should have castrated him and then grabbed him by the pussy. You know?
He let her do it.
He should have voted for Trump, and he should have come home and broke up with her.
Oh my God.
That's what he should have done.
You know, these men also should be castrated. I hear celebrity men, I hear professional athletes brag about how they're Swifties, Taylor Swift fucking fans. That's what they call themselves.
Oh my God.
So I wouldn't even say that.
They must be paying them, Tony.
It doesn't matter. If for you to say that,
it's pretty embarrassing.
You should be castrated. What?
That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. And I saw dads. This one guy in line was crying at a poll. And I was like, what are you crying about? And he said, I'm crying because I'm so emotional about how I got to go in there and vote for Kamala and protect my, I have young daughters and I got to protect their rights.
Rights to kill a baby.
And then another man at another polling place was with his wife and two daughters who are probably in their teens, and same fucking thing. He was in tears and he was saying how proud he was and he wanted them to see democracy and how they were voting and showing them the ropes. And I thought to myself, so you're defending their fucking rights to be sluts and killers, baby killers.
Yeah.
That's what you're not worried about the border where illegal aliens can cross over and rape your daughter, right? Or being locked down, or being drugged with fentanyl, or
hit by a
taken on as a sex slave.
Illegal alien DUI runs them over.
Those things they don't matter.
No.
What fucking matters is she gets to go and have an abortion.
There's a Bible verse.
That's what fucking matters.
It says, "Cursed," something to the effect of, "Cursed is he who calls what's good bad, what's bad good." So he's calling his daughter's right, freedom, whatever he wants to call it, to be a slut whore and kill their babies. Good.
Well,
he's cursed.
You're encouraging that behavior, though.
Well, you're encouraging it, and the women who are the worst are the women that you saw going in there with kids, little boys, little girls, and they come out with their kids, and they ask them, who'd you vote for? Kamala. And they would ask them in front of their kid, the little tiny kids, like really young, maybe 3, 4 years old. They would ask them, why did you vote for her? What was the top reason? Because of reproductive freedom. And I thought to myself, you bitch, you hate your fucking kids.
Yeah.
You fucking don't admit it, but you fucking hate your kids.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can have a child and and for the first time see that child's beating heart on a screen, then have the child, this beautiful child, and ever think about anyone ever aborting any child.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Go ahead, what do you say?
It's a pretty selfish position, I think, because it's freedom for her, but not for the unborn baby.
Exactly. We don't stand in the way of you doing what you want with your body, meaning like go get a cosmetic surgery, go get a fucking tattoo.
I think there's that milkmaids. What was that thing where those women, they're wearing the red outfit? It's like a fantasy show where they got a white bonnet. It's supposed to be some futuristic where the women are all oppressed and everything like that. Maybe we ought to get some ideas from that.
I haven't seen that. That's funny. That's good stuff. But what you're saying is exactly right.
It's better than what we got now.
You think about that? What?
It's birth. I mean, it's birth control after the fact is what all abortion is.
It's death. It's murder.
It's not their body anymore. It's not their fucking body at that point. Is just a host.
Yeah,
it's just that's all it is. A host.
Yeah. They're the party of
death. It's not their body.
And
what?
They're the party of death.
Yeah.
They're the party of death.
Yeah.
And they want to have control, defy God.
Yeah.
God is in control. You know, Tony, when I had kids, like I didn't know, I was older. I just prayed and gave it to God.
Yeah.
He's in control, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have beautiful kids.
You got to do the work, but yeah.
Well, I did my part, but I'm just saying, you don't know, God has every one of our molecules and our atoms under his control. Tony, you're a big guy. You got iron in your blood. Well, that iron was deep in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it got into a root of a plant you ate.
Uh-huh.
And God tracked that atom of iron a year ago.
Yeah.
Deep in the earth as it made its way into a root of some spinach.
Yeah.
And then the spinach had high iron. Yeah. And then you ate it. Yeah. And then that molecule or that atom of iron made it into your blood. And, big, strong guy. Like, God is in control of it all. And these fucking fucktards want to think they're in control and defy God and say, no, I'm planning my parenthood. Right? Planned Parenthood. Because I'm in control. My plans. Sure. God sees the plans of man and laughs. You're not in control. It's his plans.
He fucking laughs. That's why he was sitting back watching this election. I'm not letting this shit happen.
Thank God.
But the thing that was really driving me nuts is when I would see the exit polls come back and they would say stuff about young, educated males and young, educated women.
Indoctrinated.
Educated. Yeah. So
indoctrinated
basically,
in these fucking colleges.
Yeah. So basically showing how stupid the universities are making them.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with like these diplomas of stupidity. That's basically what they're getting when they go to college.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just an indictment. That's all it is.
So this is what happens with these institutions, Tony. They start out successful, good plan, man run, man formed, right? And then the women get in. Now universities, they're like primarily women. They're gynocentric. It's all geared toward women and gays and whatever. And so, honestly, we got to find something new. Universities, it's dead. It's not functional. You just learn to be indoctrinated into their system. Their system is failing.
They are indoctrination mills for the most part.
There's a new thing happening. So there's always a new thing where they're men. They innovate. They find something new. They get it, and it goes good for a while, and then it gets infiltrated by the women. They want to be a part of it. But men are the generators of change. They're the generators of new innovation on every level, whether it's the gaming world or computer or whatever. So, you know what? We're not going to recapture these universities. Let them die and just make something new. And we stay one step ahead. That's how we do.
We need men like Daniel Penny.
Yes.
That guy he's in trial right now.
Yeah.
We got to be thinking about him. And they have some new testimony right now that should free him. Basically, he should be freed anyway.
Yeah, he
I
should
mean,
have gone.
Well, he should
we should
never-
storm that place
Yeah.
and free him.
You said it a couple episodes ago. I mean, he should be receiving a medal.
Yes.
Medal for sure.
Of courage,
A
especially
reward.
for what he.
Yeah. Yes, that man
Not being
that he
prosecuted.
choked out was attacking women,
Yeah.
children, elderly, and
He knocked a woman's teeth out the
yeah.
day before.
Yeah.
He
And
pushed the one from behind.
And there's new evidence now that he was actually, the guy wasn't even dead when he was done choking him out. He was still alive,
Yeah.
and so he didn't kill him. And then also, when the police got there, he was actually doing a like a position where it was like a life saving sort of maneuver. He wasn't
Dana
trying to
Penny?
choke him out anymore.
There was no
So
intent.
yeah, there was no intent to kill the guy. The guy would.
Yeah.
He does not seem the type. I mean, that's not what he was doing. Even though the
No.
guy probably deserved it, that's not what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know. But I was thinking about. I wanted to go back to that fucking list, a traitor list for Trump, real quick.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, because we talked about it. I had at number 10 because again, like Kamala, she's kind of meaningless, but she betrayed him anyway because now she's on the media side, and that can be damaging, especially to fucking him. And she tried everything. I've seen her on TV, on fucking clips that people send me, and she has been trying to destroy him for a long fucking time. Alyssa Farah Griffin, you know who she is?
I don't know who she is.
Director of Strategic Communications. You got to check her out. Evil bitch. He gives her an opportunity. She then has a recognizable fucking face, and because of that, she goes and capitalizes it by being a traitor. So, I put her on as number 10.
Trump gave her a position.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was a director of communications for him. Think about that. That's such a delicate position to be in. Communications. That's everything. And number 9, I had that Italian traitor that should lose his Italian card, Anthony Scaramucci. You've seen him, right? What do you think of him?
Yeah.
He was a communication director.
Right. For 10 days.
It doesn't matter. He gave him a shot. Nobody knew who the fuck he was before that.
Yeah.
Nobody ever even heard of the guy. Number 8, I had Fatso Christie.
Crispy Green.
Krispy Kreme.
He was his transition vice chairman, I think.
Yeah.
So he was the one helping him transition into the fucking White House, and then sticks a knife in his back.
He's got a nickname. I think they call him the Cape May Orca.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's fucking funny.
That's too good for him.
He disappeared. You don't see him anymore. He's running scared. Where's he gonna go now?
Just call him
CNN?
Good
Where's he
old
gonna end up?
fashioned fat ass.
Yeah.
Fat ass. Trump.
Just so everybody knows, Cape May is in New Jersey.
Yeah, I know where. I've been there. It's a
You know
cool
what?
place.
That's too nice, Doug.
Back in the day.
I would donate $1,000 to Trump's campaign
Doug's nice.
or whatever thing he wants donation
Yeah.
to hear Trump call him fat ass.
All right.
Chris Christie, the fat ass.
I think he would say
He may
that.
have
He used to
said
talk
that.
like that.
I think he'd
He's
do it.
mocked him before. I think he's not. Yeah.
I want to hear some real New York.
Number 7, John Bolton, National Security Advisor.
Yeah,
man.
fuck that guy.
Can you believe that? You're
Terrible.
the National Security Advisor.
Terrible.
You know, it's one thing if you don't like things that are happening, just bow out gracefully and quietly. Don't
Which is what
don't
he
then
should've
try to
done.
burn the guy to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Well, he's a
Stick a
neocon,
knife
Tony.
in
These
his
are
back.
neocons and rhinos.
He's supposed to be advising Trump on positions, but Trump makes the final decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he makes the final decision, Bolton's job is to carry that out.
Shut the
not
fuck
to-
up and do it.
Not to work around
Exactly.
in the background to undermine.
And he's such a fucking Weasley creep, like with his fucking creep stash,
Yeah, yeah.
like acting like he's tough, and like he reminds me of a fucking dirty cop, really, with that mustache, but like a pussy ass dirty cop,
Yeah.
right? And that's like you say, he's going behind the scenes doing this little shit.
That's funny.
Like Trump should just bitch slap his ass.
Now, so he actually got interviewed a couple of weeks ago. I heard this interview, and they asked him who he's voting for.
Oh my god!
And he said he was going to write in Ronald Reagan.
That's so fucking dumb.
Isn't that kind of stupid?
More fuck tardation.
What a fucking dumbass. I mean, And these are people that are considered smart geniuses. They bring into He needs to bring us in to start the Department of Revenge. I'm going to say it every episode, man, until he fucking brings us in.
Yeah.
Every edition of this show, I'm going to remind him, bring us in, let us fuck. Yeah. You don't need the Department of Efficiency. That's so soft that Elon Musk wants to run.
A rose by any other name smells just as sweet.
Yeah, well, you think that's what it's going to be?
I mean, they're not going to call. I mean,
No
okay,
fucking
we're
way.
not there yet. We're not going to call
Number
it.
6, the witch, Nikki Haley.
Yes,
former
I
UN.
don't know what to make
Makes
of
her
her.
UN ambassador, and she just tries to just wreck his life.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I don't know what to make of her. You know,
You know what?
she was late to endorsing Trump at the end. I don't think it was even.
I'm proud.
an
I'm
honest
proud.
Endorsement.
I'm proud of the fact that when she came to Orange County,
Did you have the megaphone going on?
I had the megaphone outside
That
of her
wasn't that long
event.
ago. That was what, last year.
Yeah, it was like maybe 6-8 months ago.
Yeah.
I stood outside the bar she was in Costa Mesa with my megaphone, just blaring insults. And when they'd open the door, I'd yell louder. They'd shut the door.
Yep.
And I saw a video inside. They could hear us. And when she left in her little motorcade, they waited. They thought the coast was clear. And we all were booing her and everything. And they drive out and they get stuck at a light. And nobody noticed but me. So I ran out there with my megaphone and I got on the island right there in Costa Mesa
Right in
and
front of
was
the
yelling.
car?
And they did some maneuvering, like what do they call it? Like
Yeah.
when a vehicle takes
Yeah.
desperate
Evasive,
measures.
yeah.
Evasive maneuver.
Yeah.
So I feel like I chased her the fuck out of OC. And I hate
There's a
her.
lot of people on
Good.
OC. It's perfect.
Awesome.
The Bulldog strikes again. Number 5. This guy looks like a rat. Michael Cohen. Looks like a rat, and he's a rat.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, that was the attorney?
Attorney, personal lawyer.
His personal lawyer.
Can you imagine?
He was a wannabe though. He was a clinger, hanging around.
Still, rat. Number 4, because he was Attorney General. Now these are the guys that are in positions of power, like you said. Not just fucking Trump, they're fucking all of us, right? People that supported him. Number 4, Bill Barr, the Attorney General.
Such a bad,
Think about that.
such a bad choice.
Pompous asshole.
What a high position he had
Yeah.
to do that. Again, if you don't like it, resign. That's how things were done in the old days. You know,
Yeah.
people had dignity. They would
Don't
just
undermine
resign,
the
walk
guy.
away.
If
and
you
they were
don't
quiet.
agree with them, get
Remember
out.
the unwritten rule they used to have, where when a president's term was over, they would never speak badly about the next president. Remember?
Say it
Remember
again.
that
I do remember that.
when a president would step down when his term was over, the unwritten rule was they would never speak badly about the new president. I keep saying Trump because he wasn't, and he is again.
Well, I saw that guy. What's his name again?
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr. I saw him a few months ago in an interview. He was actually endorsing Trump. And I was like, okay,
Yeah, it's not
too little, too late. You know,
No.
you already showed your colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
done.
Just want to get in again so you can screw
He's
him
trying
over.
to save his ass. Number 3, I had because another so important position he had, Secretary of Defense James Mattis, which people were excited about him because he seemed like a tough
I
guy.
remember
Mad Dog
early
Mattis.
on,
Yeah,
yeah.
he wasn't so fucking tough after all. You remember that, right?
Stolen valor.
Yeah, stolen valor. Tough guy.
Early on, we all thought he was going to be a good
Badass.
good
He
pick
wasn't.
for that position. He
No.
ended up being weak.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him. He went to where the troops are deployed, and I listened to what he was saying to them, and I was like, oh no, this guy's nobody. He's nothing. He's
no. He was soft.
They're pumping him up,
Yeah.
giving him all this
Mad
fucking.
dog, man. Trump, because Trump likes tough guy. You know that. He was talking about
Especially military.
He was talking about the Penn State team that went and visited him. They're all big. He loves toughness.
No.
Loves
But
it.
when they call
Loves
him Mad
big
Dog
guys.
Mattis, it reminds you like McCain. I'm a maverick.
Or the Mad Dog Cosby.
I'm a maverick.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
He probably named himself
But
Mad Dog
You can't
Mattis.
name yourself. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't give yourself nicknames. Not how it works. Number 2, Mark Milley, chairman of Joint Chiefs. Think about what scumbag he is.
Another stolen valor.
Not only did he betray Trump, he betrayed our country on levels that may done things to us we may never even
Treason.
recover from.
Executable offenses.
Executable.
He
Trump
was
is right.
colluding
He
with
said it.
China.
Trump said it, and he's fucking right.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Treason.
Number 2.
No, yeah, that's a.
And I'll give you guys both a guess who I put at number 1. Doug?
Okay, so people, Trump's first administration. These are all come
No,
from?
just
Or just
whoever.
anybody in check?
Yeah,
Oh, I got somebody.
Hold on. Wait. Go ahead.
I can't think of it.
Come on. Just throw one out.
Think of a pussy,
Throw one out.
a big fat pussy
Throw one
bitch
out.
of a man. Somebody who betrayed us.
Huh? Oh, what? Who?
Somebody who betrayed us. Betrayed Trump, betrayed everybody.
I can't think of one.
Kim.
I'm gonna say Pence.
Yep. Pence number 1.
Oh my God, I couldn't even
Mike
think
fucking
of him.
Pence.
Yep.
See, I put that guy so far out of my mind, couldn't even remember him.
Mike fucking Pence. Number 1.
Well, now he's in hiding. He's in hiding, and he should be.
And a traitor in training Did you hear?
Who?
Ted Cruz's daughter. She's
Ted
like
Cruz's
a teen,
daughter.
She's like 16, I think, and she's already. Yeah, can you believe?
I don't know. No, tell me. I didn't hear anything about it.
In one of our shows, I talked about how if my son went against what I believed in
He'd throw, yeah.
and shamed me, just like my parents would have done to me, I think, oh yeah, I'd be done. I'd disown them. And if, like I said, if kids knew their parents had standards like that, they would live with a little bit of fear and respect their parents more. They wouldn't want to betray them or disappoint them. But his daughter, she speaks out against him all the time.
Oh.
But she was on stage yesterday when Cruz is giving his speech, and Cruz is giving his speech about how something about let God watch over Trump, that he got elected now, and God bless him. And she's mouthing to the camera, no, don't say that part, to the crowd, like because he's having the crowd repeat after him. She's like, don't say that, right in front of her. In front of her dad, disrespecting her father.
Then he should.
Is she a Kamala Harris supporter? I can't believe
exactly.
It. He's a weak man.
What should he do?
He's a weak man.
What should he do to her?
Not only he should definitely not have her on the stage with him.
Yeah.
He should probably just completely disown her.
Yeah.
And let her go because but he's a weak man, and I knew that. You know what, Tony? When he was trying to run in 2016. I looked at him talking, and I was like, this guy's so weak. He says a few good things. He's talking about climate change. He sounds smart.
Oh, yeah.
But I was
he was open borders a little bit.
But I couldn't feel it. I was like, and I was like, God, show me a sign. Should I go for Trump? Because I'm not feeling this guy. And then the next day I got my sign, and I never looked back.
Wow. And
so, but yeah, Cruz, even I remember, and then I was glad I fucking forsook Cruz, because then it was like, when BLMers attacked a Trump rally in some city, and they were threatening to rape the women, or I should say, when BLMers attacked a Trump rally in some city, and they were threatening to grape the women, right? And they were attacking firemen who came on scene.
Why can't you say rape?
They're threatening to rape the women. They're attacking the firemen on scene. They're trying to treat injured people and stuff like that. And then Cruz comes out, and I always save the clip. Cruz says, there comes a time when you have to blame the man who's at the heart of it. His rhetoric is what's responsible for these violent actions. And it reminded me.
Was he referring to Trump?
He's referring to Trump. He's saying Trump's inciting these violent actions. Like, you're responsible for what these fucking violent criminals are doing because what? You practiced your free speech? Like, supposedly Cruz is a constitutional lawyer, but Trump's words are to blame. He incited violence. Like, it reminded me of like that guy, that hippie doof that was like, we thought like he wanted to hang out with us and everything, but then I started kind of giving him a little pressure, pressing him. And then what does he say? He goes off on me and says, well, you get in people's faces with your megaphone. I'm not. I'm across the street. Yeah. But he's like saying like, you're asking for violence, right? You're asking for violence. Like, no. We live in a free country. You have freedom of speech, and you better respect it, or you don't belong here. Yeah. And that's what Cruz showed me that time.
Well, Cruz is, I don't know if you listened to some of the campaigning he had to do for his seat. I guess Cruz was the number one senator that Schumer was going after this election cycle. They spent a lot of money in that campaign. But his appeals for money all the time were pretty desperate to me. I
turn off, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I think I like what he does. I liked a lot of positions he takes in the Senate and everything. And to me, he shouldn't be in such a tight race. I know they throw a lot of money at him and everything. But
I don't think
he should have more confidence.
I think one of the problems is that he's not very appealing as a person.
Yeah, he's got a weak mouth, weak chin.
He's got that stupid beard he wears all the time.
Well, that's to hide his chin.
Looking like he's from like the 1800s, trying to be like an 1800 Grover Cleveland or whatever, but 1900s, whatever the fuck he was. But
he's pretentious.
But his daughter is following in the footsteps of Trump's daughter, Ivanka. First of all, she gave up Christianity. That's the first fucking problem.
So was she an atheist or what is she?
She's Jewish now because
the
of her
Trump
husband.
Daughter.
So she's Jewish.
So she's going with the other 79%.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. And then if you notice on stage, you don't see much of her anymore.
No.
So I'll be happy that Trump has learned a lesson. He's kind of keeping his distance. It looks like, at least. Hopefully, it's true from his daughter, her,
and the husband too,
and the fucking husband.
Yeah.
And she, I don't know if you heard, but the new president of Mexico is a woman now, and she's Jewish, and she's pro-abortion. That's no longer a Catholic country. That's no longer a Mexican Catholic country. With a woman like you picked a woman like her to lead your fucking country, and this woman wouldn't even recognize during election night when Trump was clearly elected. She would not recognize him as the winner. She held off as long as she possibly could, and this is the woman that Ivanka has gone down and kissed her ass. Ivanka's flown down there and kissed this woman's ass over and over again.
Yeah.
Then maybe she should go live with her down there in Mexico because she's a traitor to her dad and the country.
Yeah. What I want to do tonight too is I want to get to some business. You know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Right? Of the restaurant.
Okay.
As hopefully a lot of the people know that are watching, you guys know, most people know, we pledged our restaurant as a constitutional battleground day one of the lockdowns. We didn't take any shit. We went to war with everybody. We fought the city, the county, the state, the feds, our fellow Americans who threatened to burn the restaurant down and kill me.
Well, no, they're traitors. They're not fellow Americans.
So-called Americans.
So-called
Americans. The landlord who, our Chinese landlord who didn't believe what I stood for and tried to victim me throughout the lockdowns.
Deranged people.
We battled the media. We battled Hollywood. We fought fucking everybody. While running a business, and we battled them. Meaning, we didn't compromise anything. We remained vintage America from day one. We didn't just make masks optional. We banned them. During the vaccine mandates, we posted signs that said you had to prove you were unvaccinated to get in. We mocked, we shamed, we taunted the enemy.
You set a new standard.
We set a standard of no tolerance, and like you said, you said that I like to when an enemy puts a target on me, I like to put a bigger target on them. We went on the attack. We invaded enemy territory. We put giant billboards in LA during the thick of it, mocking them. We went to war. It was we were fighting a war, and we were willing to risk everything and sacrifice everything in honor of what our founding fathers laid on the line for us. What those men have done fighting for our country, defending liberty and freedom. I say this all the time, I thought about the men who stormed Normandy Beach almost every day. We were not going to dishonor them. We were going to honor them by the actions that we took there. We asked other business owners to join us. We put the message out. Nobody would. Nobody in this country, I can proudly say this, and for a long time I didn't say anything because I'm a humble guy, but there's no time to be humble anymore.
You were the only one.
Nobody did what we did. Nobody did what we did.
Nobody.
Stolen valor everywhere. People saying, we stayed open. No, they didn't.
People claim.
If they stayed open, they may have opened 6 months later, a month after they shut down. They did social distancing.
With restrictions.
They had some sort of restrictions. They opened maybe outside.
Forced masks still.
Yeah. Or they did it as a speakeasy quietly. Or whatever. Nobody did it like with
bold
2 middle fingers sticking up at the government and all these tiny tyrants saying, fuck you. Okay.
And that's why, Tony, I recently have been complaining about this. I take issue with this, but like I kind of toy with it. People say as I'm leaving, they're like, okay, be careful.
Yeah.
Be safe. And like for a moment, like I think, because I'm still up here, I'm still in a running battle.
Yeah.
With all the shit I've been dealing with, you've been dealing with.
Sure.
And when it'd be like you're in the middle of a battle with bombs going off, and then the guy in the foxhole next to you goes, be safe.
Yeah, because
that's where I see
God, I see red. I know you do too.
And so I go.
Don't take a risk.
I turn to him and I go, No.
No, yeah.
Okay. Well, be careful.
And
then.
they still under. No.
And I say no.
No.
Be careful.
Fuck no.
You know what? Be careful gets you, Tony. It gets
you
you.
killed.
It gets you school shootings
Yeah,
where you got an
get you
active
killed, that's
shooter
right.
and you got the police outside sitting there for an hour because that's what's being careful.
Yeah.
Being careful. What do they care about? They care about their fucking ass.
Yeah.
They don't care about their job,
That's right.
their duty.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care about those kids.
Yeah.
That's what be careful gets you.
Yeah.
Play it
So
safe.
you know what I'm dealing with.
Be
over
safe.
there.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm dealing with. So what I'm getting at is that
You don't get anywhere without risk, and you risked it.
We had a fighting standard there that was uncompromising. We had everybody come at us. Every agency. We had OSHA, the feds. They came after us.
Undercovers.
They brought undercover agents trying to do sting operations. We had criminal filings against us. We had threats to take our ABC hard-earned liquor license, valuable liquor license away.
Even HPPD.
And when I had to go to court to defend myself, I said, "Fuck you! I'm not even coming. What are you going to do about it?" We openly mocked them.
Yeah.
When OSHA came to try to serve a search warrant on us,
you said not
we
coming
said,
in.
You're not coming in. You won't step foot in here. We mocked them, gave them a dressing down in front of the restaurant. And the police left. They came with a police escort.
Yeah.
So he stonewalled them. Like the footprint of the enemy has never been inside there ever.
Yeah.
And I would tell people this, that if you subject yourself as a man to another man, or somebody trying to make you bend the knee, and inside you're saying to yourself, I don't want to bend the knee, but I have to because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose this. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose your own selfish interest, not making it about something bigger than you, like we did, like it was about our country.
Yeah.
It was about defending liberty and freedom, doing our part. In most wars, the soldiers go off and fight, but in this war, the front lines were the businesses. They were shutting down. It was our turn to fucking fight. And when I heard that the lockdowns were coming, I looked up to God and I said, "Thank you." I was upset. I said, "Thank you, God. I finally get a chance to fight these son of bitches.
Yeah.
I finally get a chance, and I'm going to do it. And we're gonna go hard." And the first thing we did was hung our "Don't tread on me, live free, or die" flag to signal to the community that we were going to fight. So we stonewalled everybody, and we did to the end. We have a Civil War cannon in front of the restaurant, symbolizing what had happened there. Most of my guys stood firm with me there, alongside me, to help me hold it down. The manager even saying early on, when the police came, when I wasn't there, he calls me and says, "You want me to get arrested? For you, I'll do it. For the cause, I'll do it." That's the kind of shit it takes. We put everything on the line. We risked everything, not just for ourselves. We never did it. We never mentioned our business once. It wasn't about business ever. I said all the time that if it was a plot of dirt with a door on it, we would have done the same fucking thing. We were doing it for our country. Yeah. We were willing to lose everything, to give it all up, right? And people around us, or that were on the enemy side, began to get this, like Trump calls it for himself, we call it too, Basilico's derangement disorder, or syndrome, right? It's like Basilico's became this lightning rod of a place. Yeah. Because if you even tried walking on the perimeter of the property, we would throw your ass off. If you even had a mask in your hand, and if you were willing to take it off, because you said, "Oh, good, I'll take it off," and you held it in your hand, we said, "Shove it in your pocket." What? And if it poked out of their pocket, we'd say, "Throw it in the fucking trash. We don't want to see it in here." What?
Wasn't there a couple Basilico's employees who had to throw their own mothers out because they?
We can proudly say that we're the only business, probably in the country, where our employees threw their own mothers out who tried to sneak in with masks. That's a fact. Yeah. And we even had a guy that was in there who got arrested on some other case while he was serving customers, and as the police were escorting him out, handcuffed, he was at the threshold of the door as they're walking him out, taking him to freaking jail on another case. As they're escorting him out, people are trying to get in with fucking masks, and with his hands behind his back, he's saying, "You can't come in here with masks." and even the cops thought that was fucking hilarious. Like, that's how committed we were to setting a standard. So we of course took incoming from the enemy from every direction. But what they didn't understand is it strengthened us and fueled us, and we loved it. We wanted it. We wanted to hate. Listen, I know what I stand for. So when somebody hates me, it fuels me more because I know they hate me for my principles.
Yeah.
That's what they're hating me fucking for what I believe, for what I express. That's why you hate me. And when I know that, I love it. And so recently, I don't know if you know, but these masks are starting to return, especially in Northern California, Contra Costa County, Napa County.
Los Angeles, too.
Some other county, Los Angeles are starting to creep back a little bit. Maybe now that Trump's going to be in office, maybe that will stop it in its tracks. I don't know.
Well, no, they used it against him, so they're probably going to up it and increase it.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
it didn't go away till Biden got it.
Way to fight. Maybe that's their way.
That's their new plan.
To fight the war. But Trump this time cannot talk about vaccines. He can't promote them. He cannot promote saying masks or wearing masks is patriotic. He can't talk. He can never preside over lockdowns again. But and I'm not going to.
If he does, we'll be waiting.
Yeah, we'll be waiting. But so recently, last week, a woman went in there with her family, and she tried wearing a mask. and if you see, and we'll show it, if you see her posts, she has worn masks. I think since the lockdown started. She's about masks. For her, that's her religion, I guess. And she walked in the wrong fucking place. And when she realized it, she lost it. She lost her fucking mind. She was rude to our server. She was rude to there was a staff there, obviously, during the day operating lunch, and she was rude. And I teach my guys that you always treat customers with respect. If they have a comment about the food or anything else, any comment at all, feedback, if they're respectful, then you listen.
Absolutely.
If there's something you need to correct, then you correct. But if they treat you, unlike other places, I tell them, if they treat you poorly, if they disrespect you, if they treat you like a punk, you fucking call them out and throw their asses out of the place. And tell them if you keep it up, you're going to be banned from this fucking place. And we've banned hundreds of people from that place. I don't give a fuck. So for me, what people don't understand is, again, I built that restaurant for my mother. She passed away, sadly, in 2023. It's still hard for me to even recognize and even talk about. Fucking devastating still. I run that place still, now that she's gone, in her honor. It's her legacy. I still call it her place. And I say she still owns it. That's the way I think. That's the mentality that I have. And I'll still put our food against anybody, even if it was at 50% quality of our standard that we have. Our food will kick the ass of any other Italian restaurant out there, because I know the recipes that we use, ingredients that we fucking use, the high quality stuff that we use, the cooks that I have, the love and passion that goes into the food, the guys that work hard there that want to take care of people and treat them nice. We work our asses off to make that place a nice place. But if you think I'm going to compromise and kiss your ass because you have a complaint is different than a comment. If you're complaining, you're fucking don't complain. Tell me what the issue is and we'll deal with it if there is one. But this woman came in there with a motive, okay? And when she walked in, again, it was kryptonite to her to see the kind of place she was realized what she was surrounded by, lost her fucking mind, goes home, decides she's going to cause us damage, try to damage her reputation online. Remember, before the lockdowns, we were the #1 Italian restaurant, maybe even restaurant rated online in the whole area in Orange County. And during the lockdowns, when word got out what we were doing, we were getting 1-star hateful reviews on Google and Yelp from around the world. People were lying, saying they ate there, even saying things like we made crappy pizza. We don't even make pizza. Yeah. People that had never eaten there, that were talking shit about us, trying to destroy us. Even liberal Google and Yelp could see that it was a hateful campaign, and they were like by the hundreds. They were coming in nonstop, 50, 100 a day. And they finally stepped in and shut it down and froze it. But it it dropped our rating, but like I said, we were willing to sacrifice everything, including that. We don't give a fuck. But this woman goes and she posts on some local site, and she takes her whole fucking day, writes a review this fucking long. And I just sat back and laughed because sure enough, the haters jumped on the bandwagon again.
Flooded.
And they were like, last I checked, there were like 340, somebody sent me a count, 340 reviews on there. Obviously, there's some people on our side that jump in there and they go to battle for us and they defend us. But the hateful reviews, and I have them on my phone, maybe I'll read a couple. I think you recommended that earlier, Doug.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what these fucking people don't understand is that they're wishing us to be closed down and shut down and go out of business, and the same things people did in 2020, 2021, 2022, calling Gavin Pelosi's office, telling him to shut us down, calling the mayor's office, Huntington Beach, asking them to shut us down. The police department telling us that they were getting 911 calls nonstop to shut us down. What these people don't understand is I could shut down anytime I fucking want, but it'll be on my fucking terms. I could, because of what I've done, battling everybody, and the fortress is still standing after, and we even planted a 40-foot flagpole in the property to stick it up the ass of the landlord, who tried to evict us, who hated us too. I can walk away proudly right now, drop the fucking mic, as they say, and say, hey, I'm done. Yeah. Walk off into the sunset and be done with it. I don't need this, but I do it because of what it's come to represent. And I keep it open because of the haters. So the more you hate me, the longer I'm going to keep it open. Right. That's what they don't understand. Yeah. I keep it open as a fuck you to you. Even if I had only one customer a day, I'll do it. I'll sell everything. I'll do whatever it takes to keep that place open another day. Yeah. So you can hate me all you fucking want. All it does is fuel me, brings a smile to my face every morning I wake up and I see another hateful review because I know what your motive is. Yeah. I know what it fucking is. And if you want to tell us if you want to say it to our face, in fact, somebody put our phone number, posted what they call doxing, put our phone number up and our address, and no, my phone number up, my personal phone number, posted it, and my address, my home address on there. And you know how many people called me, had the balls to call me and show up at my house? 0. Just like during the lockdowns. Yeah. Everybody talked a big game, threatened to burn our restaurant down and kill me by the hundreds for weeks and weeks and weeks. And we even mocked them, and not one fucking person stepped in there to say a shit to my face. Well, not once.
You know, the haters, it's obvious that they don't really know what they're talking about, what they're hating on, because if they came into that restaurant on a typical Thursday, Friday, Saturday night when the restaurant's full of patriots and there's this,
what these people have to understand, when I took my stand, I already knew that I would automatically cut out half the customer base, and I said, "Good riddance. I don't give a fuck." Yeah. Half. Then you have another half of that, right? Then you have the other half. Then you have 50% of the other half that said in my face, "You're too hardcore." That's another. Well, that's 75% gone. Yeah. Then you got another 25% left. Maybe half of that 25% is hardcore enough to understand what I'm doing. Yeah. But what I tell people is, if your complaint, if you're a patriot though, and you fucking eat, if you really are a patriot, which these people, none of them are, but if you are and you come in there and your meatball is maybe a little too salty, or your sauce was a little maybe too garlicky, or something tiny that you experience in any place that you go eat, shut the fuck up and just say thank you to me. And to the team and to you guys for defending doing what we could do and sacrifice all we did to defend your freedom, because we did it for you too. Yeah. Just thank us. Yeah. Fuck the rest. If you come to me and you come to us respectfully and talk to us about it, we'll fix it. But I'll still put our food at its worst against anybody's food at their fucking best, just because of the love and the care that we put into what we do every fucking day. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, the
I thought
point
it
I was trying to
important.
make before too is that you're in that place on a typical Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. That the positive energy in there is amazing.
We're like-minded. Everybody in there's a patriot,
That's right.
you know. And again, if people want to come in there on the other side and they're kind of like they're patriot curious, they
Yeah.
can come in there.
Yeah.
All right, they can come in. I got to laugh. They can come in there and we'll re-educate them.
Absolutely.
The Basilico's re-education camp. The other thing too is I want to say is these events that happen, these events where people try to destroy us, try to destroy the fucking business. In this way, it usually too will always reveal who the traitors are,
Absolutely.
and it gives you an opportunity to flush the traitors out of your system too. It's like, oh, two more. Oh, I caught two more. I caught three more, and you narrow down your army down to the 300. Remember the story of 300?
Yeah.
You get down to 300. The guys that you know that are in a lockstep with you that you can trust with your life.
Absolutely.
You know. So anyway, kind of wanted to finish with that. I was gonna read some of the comments, but I'll do that next time. I don't want to give them any.
So people should come to the restaurant and experience good food and good atmosphere.
It's a restaurant on election night.
It was amazing.
It took me almost 2 hours to walk from the front door to the back because there were so many people in there.
Yeah.
And
we're so back. We're so back.
So back in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
so
I plead with the haters. Keep it coming. Keep hating us. It fuels us. It grows our business even more.
Yeah.
And we appreciate
Tony,
you for it.
because I mean, big Italian Goomba, but at your heart, like Trump, like me, you're a master troll, and I'll explain the concept.
And I never knew that before.
But
I didn't even know what the word troll was.
Trolling is like toying.
I do know what it is.
You toy with
I
them.
didn't know the word.
And they start feeding you.
I know.
They start responding, and then they say
on our website there's a message that says we lure them in, and then we just fucking pound.
Don't feed the troll.
Yeah.
But you got to learn the hard way with Tony Roman.
I don't know what it's going to take for these people. It's been 4 fucking years. It's like, when are you going to realize
they don't learn? They don't know anything. They voted for Miss Retard.
Yeah, and for the people out there that are considering, maybe they're jealous, maybe they hang out with us and pretend like they're all about it because maybe they're getting something out of it. I don't know, and they have these urges to betray us. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And to everyone else out there, remember, you're Americans, act like it. And tonight was a special night.
It was very
It's
special.
a great fucking night. I feel the strength. I feel the energy.
Yeah.
And I feel it all around us. And
That's good.
we're stronger than ever.
We're basking in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Awesome.
God willing.
Amen.